Under the sun, the fields are alive. Cheering crowds and the teams collide. In these moments, we stand tall and free. First pride runs deep in me. With every touchdown, we rise and we cheer. Unity and spirit, the heart of the year. Raise your voices, let's make it loud. In Florida's high schools, we're so damn proud. From the bleachers to the end zone to go, football and cheers make our spirits roll. Girls in the game, they're fierce and bright. Flag in hand, they give it their might. From every town they bring their dreams. On this field of gold, nothing's as it seems. Together we shine, together we play. In Florida's heart, we own this day. Raise your voices, let's make it loud. In Florida's high schools, we're so damn proud. From the bleachers to the end zones go, football and cheers make our spirits grow. So here's to the game, we'll rise and stand. In Florida's field, real night band.
All right. Good morning to everybody. It's time for another edition of the Drive the State show here on FortHSFootball.com and the FortHS Football social media handles. That's Christopher Lyke. I'm Josh Wilson. Good morning to all of y'all here. Chris, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm awake.
Awake. I haven't had much sleep either. Good morning to you, Emery. Good to see you on. There's Nully in the house. Oh, it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's the Saturday after round 3 here. Make sure that I've got it actually on the right.
And I'm still recovering from the cold.
There we go. Yeah.
Whatever's going around.
Let the record show that I call Lakeland and Riverdale. We'll get to that here in a moment. I see Mark Cannon is in here. This is disturbing my beauty sleep. Mark, I barely got any sleep. Oh, Kevin! Hey, they got home from St. Augustine around 4 a.m. Central Time. Choctaw, big winner. Boy, we got stuff to talk about, Chris, in this next hour.
Yeah, we do.
Yep. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody on here. It's a Saturday morning. It's a cold Saturday morning if you're in northern parts of the state here, and maybe colder even down in Central Florida. But man, woo! Walk outside this morning, start the car. Jack Frost said, "Get your butt back inside." Oh man. It definitely is. And again, good morning, everybody. It's hard to believe since the big thing was that we're not going to be able to talk about pairings for next week because outside of the FIT games and the Rural State Championship game, we don't need any other pairings.
Yeah.
Because we won't know until either later tonight or tomorrow morning when the FHSAA recalculates everything. I did see something from John.
You can blame the two teams in Miami for this.
I mean, yeah, because I don't understand why they couldn't play last night. I don't understand why it's harder to schedule when there's multiple stadiums. I don't know. I don't even think soccer was really in play last night. So why? I don't know. But I digress. Northwestern and Central get their shine in the spotlight tonight. So they'll have that. But I mean, yeah, but we're not sure. We're not sure yet in terms of the calculation of the numbers yet here. But I did see something. I didn't realize this. I don't think you kind of flew under the radar. But the FHA has been recalculating the numbers every week during the playoffs, which is really interesting because they didn't do that last year. But I didn't even realize that. So how do I everything? I do have to give credit. I give credit to John Santucci, who posted an article way early this morning, about this, and they were kind of predicting out what the Final Four might look like here. And I mean, some of it. This is why it's like you're gonna try to predict it. Well,
yeah.
Some of it could be crystal clear here. Some of it might as well just go ahead and forget it.
Yeah.
So
you never know from one thing to the other what they're thinking. Oh.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Here, I don't have graphics for the FIT game. Sorry, I just basically I got everything for the main stuff that we're going to talk about here. But in the rural FIT, it's going to be Fort White versus Port St. Joe. That's a 1 p.m. Next Friday. I can tell you this for the FIT 183, which will be a 1 p.m. next Thursday. It will be Dunellen versus North Miami Beach. So probably a good little local crowd will be there for that one, 1 p.m. Thursday at the Villages. This is a game. These are all the Villages. And then in the 4A through 7A, it's going to be Tate versus Dr. Joaquin Garcia for the 4A through 7A FIT championship, which actually both teams have got 10 wins here. So not if you're really looking at it, not a bad tilt between two teams right there who should have been in the main playoff bracket, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So there's that right there as we talk about that here. But Chris, I mean, man, we got stuff to talk about because obviously we know who is going to be taking on who in the rural state championship game, and we know our state semifinalists. We know 31 of 30. Is it no 31? Let me calculate that out here. Hold on 1 second. Make sure that I got this right.
We know all but two of them.
Well, we know
one of them.
Yeah, we know all. So we know 27 to 28 state semifinalist teams from 1A through 7A. There's only one we don't know yet. Again, we've already mentioned their names: Miami Central or Miami Northwestern. One of those two teams will be a state semifinalist come probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight. So there's a lot here, Chris, to digest here. Now let's kind of roll into it here with a little bit of. Let me see if I got the music that I want to use. I'm not sure. Let's see. I want to use this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, there we go. Yes. Let's talk about it here. Let's getting into it here with in terms of the rural state championship. Blountstown and Hawthorne have advanced out of the state semifinals to the state championship game. Hawthorne in their 6th consecutive state title game appearance. Blountstown in their first appearance in a state title game since 2019. This is going to be really good.
Yeah, it will be.
This will be a really, really good state championship game here in the rural. Blountstown obviously knocking off the defending state champion Madison County last week. Easily took care of business against Pahokee 30-3 in that particular game, and then Hawthorne beating Chiefland 36-6. And we're going to talk about Mark Cannon in the parking lot when we get to 3A, Chris.
Yeah. Really, he's already there.
Yeah. So, with that said, looking at everything, World State Championship will be Friday, December 5th, 7 o'clock kickoff at the H.G. Morris Range at the Villages. So, with that said, as we roll into it here, looking at our round 3 recap here now, looking at everything going through it here with the state semifinalists. We're going to get into that here in just a moment here, but man, again, Rural Classification State Championship next Friday between Bluntstown and Hawthorne. Now, before I kind of get into a little bit more, who saw the article yesterday that I posted yesterday morning, projecting the reclassification out?
Boy,
that was interesting. It was interesting to go through the stuff, trying to go through the parameters of what the FHA has set out. Because I will tell you right now, there's
you could go through most of it, and then all of a sudden you get 1A, and it's like, wait a second.
I feel like when everything's looked at, I feel like to me 1A in that situation, what's being looked at is that 1A. Are they anticipating a lot of SSA schools to come back in? Or was there an anticipation? I'm just kind of it's really, really interesting to see where this is going to go. I'm glad everybody. I'm seeing the hands raised in the chat, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, what I'm going to do here is real quick here, since I love this that we have this here that I can pop it up here. I'm going to do this. No, of course it wants me to give it a title, and I'm going to pop it up on the screen here for y'all. All right. If you have not seen it, hit that QR code there on the screen. You can hit it and go right to that article. If you are a season ticket member, we appreciate everybody that has become a season ticket member or is already a season ticket member. A lot of work in that. And I mean, it was really, really interesting to go through that. So I'll bring it back up here a couple more times. If y'all need the QR code to hit the scan, or just go to FHSFootball.com. It's right there on the front page there. So again, a lot of juicy projections in that one, I should say, Chris.
God, yeah.
So anyways, Chris, man, what do we do? What do we talk about? Let's talk about Class 1A here. We'll talk about the state semifinalists here in just a moment here, in a moment here. But Class 1A, really, really interesting here to talk about that here, because I gotta say, there was a message about the pull it up here on my one screen here. All right, Class 1A, we had a message received comment Tuesday night. All I got to say is that message has been returned to sender.
Oh, yeah.
So let's start. 1A Region 1, you had Trinity Christian, University Christian. University Christian had a 12-0 lead in that game. Trinity Christian then ripped off 27 points to emerge victorious as your Region 1 champion. Region 2, where the message was received and returned. Carrollwood Day 30, Clearwater Central Catholic 28. Clearwater Central Catholic is not advancing to the state semifinals for the first time in several years. Now, I'm not shocked. It was a good game, competitive game. I'm not shocked. Carrollwood Day got out. It came away by 2 points on this. I'm not. I knew that he's going to throw everything at Carrollwood Day. It was basically Carrollwood bent. They didn't break. Then we're looking at it here, Region 3. Now, Chris, when we were talking about you myself, Coach Ron, on Tuesday, we feel like we knew after what we saw with St. Pete Catholic last week against St. John Newman that they were in trouble.
Yeah.
Sure enough, that was the case. Cardinal Newman 42, St. Pete Catholic 13. The magical run for the Barons is over. Cardinal Newman advancing to their second straight semifinal here under head coach Jack Daniels, one of my favorite names for a head coach in this entire state. And then over there in Region 4, well, there's your defending state champions, Shema Madonna, just rolling over True North, 35-14, pretty much. It was a competitive contest first half. Shema Madonna pulled away in the second half. That's what it seems like.
Yeah,
We have seen.
like we said last week, we knew True North was going to be in the game, and true enough, they were. You know, they pulled away.
Shema finds a way. Shema pulls away. They pull away in the second half. That's what Shema Madonna has been doing in every game this year. It's start off slow, but second half, it's pull away. And with that said, let's hit the wrong button there. Let me go to this here. Let me go back to that here, and I'll get it pulled up here for this here. And there we go. Class 1A, there's your state semifinalist. Trinity Christian out of Region 1, Carrollwood Day out of Region 2, Cardinal Newman out of Region 3, and Shema Madonna out of Region 4. And with that said, we'll find out who's going to play who now. Again, I should say there was an interesting article from John Santucci from about this, kind of projecting out. Probably we would have done the same thing had we known that the projections they have been recalculating and stuff. So let's take a look at it. Let's. This is what John had here, and I believe I would say right now the situation is this. We really don't know who's going to seed where because they're all so close together, pretty much, between Shema Madonna, Carrollwood Day, Cardinal Newman. I can pretty much, I would say in high confidence that Trinity Christian will be your 4th seed. Will Shema Madonna be the 1 seed? I'm not so sure. But if I had to take a guess, Carrollwood Day could edge out Shema Madonna by just a hair for that 1 seed. And I think it comes down to who you played over the last few weeks. And I think, again, maybe I'm personally thinking it's going to be Carrollwood Day, maybe potentially 1, Shema Madonna 2, and then Cardinal Newman 3 with Trinity Christian. I feel like the highest confidence I have is Trinity Christian being the last seed. That's where I have the highest confidence.
I mean, if we're splitting hairs between 1 and 2, that's really a non-starter. I mean,
did Mark Cannon say water is wet? Well, I mean, I've got water right here, Mark. And I believe Carrollwood Day and Jason, Jason Labiner, sorry, and I'm still waking up here. Hot chocolate didn't even wake me up this morning, so there you go.
I woke up at 8:20 this morning, so
yeah. Carrollwood Day dominated CC. I believe that. I know sometimes the score is not also indicated. Sometimes the score doesn't indicate how a team dominated a team, or sometimes it doesn't indicate how close a game may have been.
Yeah.
It all comes down to looking at the statistical numbers. And we don't necessarily see the stats until Monday morning after everything's been done and the coaches have gone through the stats. And Noah, we did say that. We did say that on the show. We said that. I think we said it last Saturday. I think we said it Tuesday. CCC was exposed. Yep. Last week against Victory Christian. And Carrollwood Day knew what they had to do to beat them. And they did. But right now, I'm really thinking right now, Chris, that we're in a situation that I feel like if the reseeding happens, I feel like the only seed I can say that I'm fairly confident about is that 4th seed. Everything else,
yeah.
Go ahead and draw names out of the hat, and you might be right. So, with that said, let's talk about Class 2A now here, and we'll bring that. We'll talk about that here as we go through this. Class 2A with the results here. Region 1, how about this, Chris? Bulls all over Pensacola Catholic, 44-10. Can't wait to see what the Xander Edwards, what his numbers were in that game, because I'm pretty sure they were pretty dominant as it has been all season. Well, I got to say this. Let me go ahead and eat a little bit of crow. I've got my fork and knife, imaginary fork and knife. I'm going to eat a little crow. Okay. Coco still has Bradford's number. Bradford still can't figure out the digits to Coco. Coco 17, Bradford 10. Coco wins there in Region 2. Region 3, Cardinal Mooney over Lakewood, 49-29. Rematch of those two teams there. Cardinal Mooney just still flexing a muscle here onto a third consecutive week of a third consecutive year of being in the state semifinals. And how about Cardinal Gibbons pulling off a big win, a 3-point victory, 20-17 over Immaculata LaSalle. And Cardinal Gibbons in the state semifinals for the first time since 2021, when they won the 4A state championship that year. And the team they beat that year, by the way, in 2021, Chris, the only public school sitting in the Class 2A state semifinals, Coco.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
So, with that said, here, let's look at our Class 2A state semifinalists. Bulls out of Region 1, sitting there with 12-1 record. Coco, Region 2, 8-4. Cardinal Mooney, Region 3. And Cardinal Gibbons, Region 4. Now, I got to say this. And my whole thought, who do I feel like is going to be the 4th seed, and I feel like at the highest confidence, is Coco. John Santucci projecting Cardinal Mooney versus Coco being at Cardinal Mooney and Cardinal Gibbons at Bulls, Cardinal Mooney getting the 1 seed. I got to say, I'm in agreement with John. I'm low confidence in this situation because anything can happen here. I feel like could Bulls be the 1 seed? Possibly. Cardinal Mooney being the 1 seed? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Either way here.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta say this. My confidence in this really, this is low. It's low here. The only thing I have confidence in is I would say Coco's going to probably be the 4th seed. Cardinal Gibbons the 3. Who's the 1? Who's the 2? Adam, Coach Franco, I don't. It's hard telling. It's hard telling how these things work with the FHSAA Max Ref rankings, because they are going to recalculate the numbers after one thing. But they've been actually recalculating every week, and so far the numbers show that Coco was still below Gibbons in the numbers. I don't know if there's I just don't know if there's enough there to jump. I don't know.
I don't know if just beating Bradford is enough to do it, but I mean, we're splitting hairs here between 1 and 4. So.
Yeah, I mean, I say this: we're gonna could it be splitting hairs between 3 and 4? Sure. I mean, could we be splitting hairs on this whole thing? My confidence is probably. I mean, again, I would say it's low too. I agree with John Santucci. It's low because anything can. We see what we thought when we were projecting out brackets at the start right before the playoffs. Something got thrown out the window, like Alonzo, who should have been in.
Yep.
Hosed. So you know what? I don't put anything past anything to happen here. That's what I'm saying. Let's talk about Class 3A, Chris. Here as we roll along here, Class 3A here. Well, let's talk about that here, Chris, with the scores here from this one. In Region 1, how about this? And I feel like I knew this. I think we kind of talked. I'm sorry. I'll take care of this in a moment. Region 1, Reigns 61, Bishop Kenny 15. I felt like I know the forecast was 20 some points on the computer, but I always felt like Reigns was going to win that by a wider margin just because the way Reigns has been playing in the playoffs and then playing this season. Bishop Kenny had a 7-0 lead at the start of the game. I knew that was fool's gold. I knew that, Chris. I knew that was absolutely fool's gold. There was no way Bishop Kenny was going to hold that lead. But Reigns dominating in that Region 1 final, 61-15. In the Region 2 final, how about this? A classic good old-fashioned battle between Bishop Moore and O'Galley. Bishop Moore 31, O'Galley 28. Was Reigns exposed? No. Bishop Kenny was going to put up some points. Bishop Kenny was going to put up some points.
I don't think Reigns is going to be exposed until the championship.
All right. And then over in Region 3, Booker totally dominates Nature Coast 50-14. What we don't have the answer to is Region 4. Again, that's 7 o'clock tonight at the Traz. It's Miami Northwestern and Miami Central. Who's going to win that game? Again, the forecasted line is Miami Northwestern by 11, which was basically the real surprise. Bishop Moore winning was a real surprise. I'm not so sure, Mark. I kind of, the way Bishop Moore, I feel like maybe they kind of took some lessons from that loss against Lake Mary in week 11.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I'm not surprised they won. I'm not surprised Bishop Moore won.
I'm more surprised at the way Booker beat Nature Coast, but
I'm not surprised Booker put up 50. I'm really not. Booker's on a roll here. All right, let's look at our Class 3A state semifinals. Obviously, Reigns sitting there in Region 1, Bishop Moore Region 2, and Booker Region 3. You got some interesting scenarios. If Northwestern beats Miami Central, you might as well just go ahead and put. I feel like Miami Northwestern will be the 1 seed. Reigns will be 2. Bishop Moore, and this is what John Santusci's got. He's got Bishop Moore playing at Miami Northwestern, Booker playing at Reigns. If it's Booker and Reigns in that state semifinal game, there's a chance it's either going to be defensive battle or it's going to be barn burner.
mm-hmm.
There probably won't be any in between. Now, if Miami Central wins this game, I would say that all bets are off about how the seeding goes. Because anything would be there at that point. Because a Miami Central win, could that push them enough to be the 1 seed?
I think
We should beat a really good Miami Northwestern.
the way Miami Central, if Miami Central beat Northwestern, I think they deserve the 1 seed. So.
The question is will they get it if that happens? We'll have to find out. So right now, pretty much everything is kind of, low confidence in this situation right this second. Now, if it's Miami Northwestern that wins, pretty much you could probably say hi. But other than that, that's where we're at right this second here. All right. So we've gone through we've gone through the Royal, we've gone through 1A, 2A, and 3A. Chris, how about we take a break, catch a breath here for a second, get some water here, and for some reason, there was a mention of this somewhere in the chat by one Emery Smith.
Yeah.
Without fail.
Oh man.
Oh man, yes. Yep. I'll try to get it stopped there for a second, but anyway, water break for the return. And Mark Cannon needs coffee. I do not drink coffee. All right, let's do this. Let's take a break here. Take about a 2-minute timeout. We'll be right back right after this here on the Drive the State show here on FHSAA.com.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, there's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
Box Out gives you the ability to create graphics at the speed of sports to highlight your athletic department, teams, and student athletes in seconds. Used and trusted by Notre Dame, Ohio State, UConn, Marquette, Georgetown, and many more of the top college brands in the country. If you want your school's brand to stand out through all the clutter, start your free demo at boxoutsports.com.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with a free ScoreStream mobile app. Download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Get ready for the 2026 Coach of the Year Clinics. This February and March, see top collegiate coaches, learn from the best, and take your program to the next level. Don't miss America's most respected coaching clinics.
All right, welcome back here to the Drive the State show here on this Saturday morning here on FHSFootball.com and the FHSFootball.com social media networks here. And we've already gone through the rural 1A, 2A, and 3A here. And boy, we got 4 more classifications to talk about here as we recap round 3 of the FHSAA playoffs, mostly for the regional finals and outside the rural who had the state semifinals. And with that said, Chris, here we've got more to talk about here and some interesting things in Class 4A to talk about because boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
y'all tried. You see, here's the thing. Y'all tried to convince me out of. Yeah, y'all tried to convince me the computer was wrong. Y'all tried to convince me the computer was wrong about Choctaw and St. Augustine Tuesday night. Choctaw 31, St. Augustine 28. Choctaw's into the state semifinals for the first time in 11 years. Jones 24, Lake Wales 10. Jones out of Region 2. Winning that one. Jones back in the state semifinals once more. I believe this is the 5th trip to the state semifinals. Fifth trip in the last 6 years for Jones. Region 3.
Well.
A turnover in the final minutes of the game and subsequent touchdown in 2-point conversion makes Port Charlotte a regional champion for the first time in program history. 22-21 over Jesuit. And then American Heritage exacts their revenge. There are a lot of adversity by everything.
Yeah.
American Heritage 25, Archbishop McCarthy 20. Chris, you're right. This is we thought we had everything figured out. Just as we thought we had everything figured out, and I'm going to stop the music for a moment because this is what it really is. Yeah, we really don't have everything figured out.
Yeah.
We really don't. So Emory, it's a sequence. Recovered a fumble at their 30 with 33 seconds left. Port Charlotte then throws a 50-yard touchdown pass with 11 seconds left, and then they got the 2-point conversion.
You got to feel for the Denver kids on that.
What a collapse! What a collapse by what a collapse by Jesuit for sure. What a heartbreaker too.
Yeah, you control the entire narrative of the game, and then all of a sudden, in the last minute,
boom, it's gone.
Yeah,
it's like thunder. It's like lightning. When there's thunder, there's lightning. When there's lightning, there's thunder. And when there's smoke, there's fire.
And you talk about St. Augustine collapsing with Choctaw.
St. Augustine, it was a back and forth battle. It was a back and forth battle, and you got to give it to Choctaw.
Yeah.
Choctaws had their back against the walls the last 2 weeks. It's like thunder. It's like lightning. I'm going to knock on some wood. As we have learned, yes, Emery's right, Chris. Anything can happen in the playoffs when everything is on the line.
Yep.
This is what makes the playoffs more exciting than the regular season. Because
like I said last week, when it comes to teams like Lake Wells and McCarthy,
yeah,
it's hard to beat the same team twice.
It really is. It really is. And then when you can figure out how to beat that same team twice, you're doing pretty well. You're doing pretty good. So with that said here, let's bring up, and then, of course, and in Region 4, obviously American Heritage 25-20 over March currently. Let's talk about it here. Our state semifinalists, Chris. Choctaw out of Region 1, Jones Region 2, Port Charlotte Region 3, and American Heritage Region 4. By the way, Port Charlotte's not the only first-time state semifinalist here. So we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it here.
Interesting conundrum when it comes to the rankings with this one.
This one, I would say my confidence would be that I almost certain American Heritage is going to be the 4th seed. If Choctaw's the 1 seed, and excuse my the way the words are going to set up here in this, but I have to say it the way I need because I feel like it's going to be the way. That's one long ass road trip to Choctaw.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna do it here because this will I can almost pretty much guarantee this will be the longest road trip of any of the teams in the state semifinals. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna do it here. All right. So
good Lord.
So the proposed road trip by Google Maps.
I see it too. Oh, Lordy.
The proposed road trip by Google Maps is indicating an 8-hour and 45-minute drive from American Heritage to Choctaw and Fort Walton Beach. Going to Turnpike. How many miles one way, you ask? 623 miles.
Yep.
623 miles for a state semifinal game. And then they will have to come back another 623 miles. If my calculation is correct, That's over 1,200 miles
In 2 days.
for a
Huh?
state semifinal game.
And if American Heritage loses that game, that's not going to be a fun trip back.
I think Port Charlotte mean Jesuit it gives them a boost, a huge, significant boost. Either way, I'm going to tell you something. This is my thought is that if it's Choctaw will be hosting. Somebody's got to make a road trip. Somebody's got to make a load wrong trip about the Panhandle. That's all I'm going to say. Somebody's got a long road trip to the Panhandle.
Unless somehow
Is it going to be American Heritage?
Somehow we get Choctaw number 2. I don't know. All bets are off.
And here's the thing: unless it's going to be American Heritage, or is it going to be Port Charlotte making the long road trip? That's what I'm thinking. Is that it's going to be more likely Port Charlotte or Jones in the state semifinals is a 2-3 matchup, and then the Choctaw hosting American Heritage in the 1-4.
I mean, there is a case where Jones should be number 1 in Choctaw too, but I mean.
But if you're Choctaw, do you really want American Heritage coming in the state semifinal?
I'm Choctaw. I'm looking at my job.
Because either way, whoever's coming, who's ever coming to Fort Walton Beach is making a long road trip.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Whoever's coming, all that, long road trip. In my opinion. Long road trip.
Some people
I just know this.
Some people in the chat are suggesting that American Heritage would fly.
I just don't know. Mark Yannis is the equipment manager. Will have to drive.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they're not putting all that. They're not putting all that equipment on a plane. So yeah, Mark Cannon's right.
all right. Let's talk about Class 5A here, Chris. Here, Region 1. Ponte Vedra's 27, Mainland 10. I got some flack from the mainland folks. So all that mainland's being, we're not, we were always against mainland. Well, let the scoreboard show. Maybe why the computer was saying Ponte Vedra was going to win.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ignore the last comment from Mark Keenan in the chat.
Yeah.
How about Lakeland? Lakeland 27, Edgewater 14. You know what? Maybe this leads credence. Did the loss to First Academy at the end of the regular season cost too much for Lakeland? And they cost them that 1 seed, but really should have been the 1 seed the entire time. Lakeland 27, Edgewater 14 in the Region 2 final in 5A. In Region 3.
There's a case for that. Yes.
Yes. Now, Region 3. We have another first time state semifinalists. Congratulations to the Riverdale Raiders, 28-26 over Manatee, Chris. And I got a lot of flack from a lot of people in this state that Riverdale had no shot at that getting into the state semifinals. Who's the one eating crow now? It certainly is not myself.
Well, they're still undefeated.
Riverdale only has 1 loss this season.
Yeah.
Oh, there's people eating crow this morning. On this game, it sure isn't me. Yes, Manatee did miss a field goal at the final at the buzzer that would have given them the lead in the win.
Mm-hmm.
But still, at the end of the day, the final result. When everybody kept saying, "Oh, Riverdale didn't have a chance," Riverdale didn't have a chance.
You know, and that thing time at the Aquinas MacArthur game, the score doesn't indicate how close that game was.
St. Thomas Aquinas 34, MacArthur 7 in the Region 4 final. Let's talk about it here with our state semifinalists in Class 5A. Ponte Vedra, your Region 1 champ, Lakeland Region 2, Riverdale Region 3, and St. Thomas Aquinas Region 4. Here's my question now, Chris, and this is that who's going to be the 1 seed? Who wants to be the 1 seed?
I
feel like St. Thomas Aquinas will be the 1 seed.
Yeah.
The question is it Lakeland or Ponte Vedra for that 2 seed? I feel like Riverdale is going to be a 4 seed.
Isn't this the weird thing where you don't want to be the 1 seed in this bracket?
Say what?
Isn't it a weird thing where you really don't want to be the 1 seed in this bracket?
I mean, we got a good collection of teams here for the 5A state semifinals. Ponte Vedra, they're in the state semifinals for the first time since 2016. Obviously, Riverdale first time. St. Thomas Aquinas. I had to go look at it, going through the records. But I think Riverdale potentially could be the 4th seed. Based upon, but again, I'm not confident on anything here, really.
Yeah.
Because we felt confident about our projections for the brackets. Some of that went right out the freaking door.
I mean, I'm not confident that Ponte Vedra could be the number 1 seed.
No, I don't think Ponte Vedra will be the 1 seed. I feel like St. Thomas will be the 1 seed. Is it Lakeland or is it Ponte Vedra at the 2 seed? That's the question. I feel like that may become what it comes down to. I feel like Riverdale more at the 4 seed. People sleeping on. I'm not sleeping on Ponte Vedra. It's what. Where does Ponte Vedra?
We're not sleeping on Ponte Vedra at all.
Where does Ponte Vedra fall on this whole thing? All I gotta say is,
it's a toss-up between Lakeland and St. Thomas Aquinas for 1 and 2, but
who's going to be 2 and 3?
Yeah,
that's the question mark. That's the question mark we're having here.
Well, 1, 2, and 3 are the toss-up right now. But
yeah. But anyways, that's a look at 5A with our state semifinalists. All right, let's talk about Class 6A here, Chris, here as we roll along here and as we get closer and closer to wrapping this thing up, because we're not going to find out who the matchups are until later tonight or I think Lakeland, I honestly, if I say this right now real quick, I think it's going to be Aquinas, Lakeland, Ponte Vedra, then Riverdale. My confidence is not very high on that.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about Class 6A, Region 1, Buell 27, Mandarin 20. That game was back and forth. That game was back, but the Buell's had a 13-0 lead at the half. Then it was a back and forth battle in the second half, and Buell's did everything and won. So there you go. 27-20, good old-fashioned battle right there between the 1 and 2 seeds there. Over in Region 2, it was no contest. Armwood 42-0, South Lake 0. Same thing over in Region 3. West Boca 41, Mitchell 3.
Those were the 2 games that were not a surprise at all. I mean,
now, Chris, I give it to you on this one on Region 4. West Broward 30. Miami Southridge 27. Southridge misses has a field goal blocked. And the final seconds at the buzzer. West Broward is a first-time state semifinalist as well.
I called it. I told people at the beginning of the playoff. I told people, watch out for West Broward.
Now the question is what is it going to be here? Let's talk about that here as we pull it up here on the screen and talk about our 6A.
I'm more
State
confident that West Broward's
semifinal.
going to be number 14 this thing.
Buchholz, I feel like will be the one.
You look at.
If Armwood's the 1 seed, I would be stunned because I don't feel like Armwood's played anywhere near the schedule Buchholz has.
Yeah.
It's probably very painful to have a field goal blocked in the final seconds or miss a field goal in the final seconds at the buzzer. I feel like Armwood would be a 2 seed, but does West Boca have enough to jump Armwood to get that 2 seed? I don't know, but there's a chance that West Boca ends up on the road. Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be West Broward heading to Buchholz and West Boca heading to Armwood. That's just my feeling. But there's no confidence really in a lot of this.
Yeah, there's no confidence at all. The only confidence I've got is West Broward coming number 4.
Yeah, I feel like West Broward's traveling somewhere, and it's most likely probably to Gainesville next week.
And they could travel to any of the 3 places. West Boca could be the number 1 seed.
Yeah, but you got
and West Boca deserves it too.
But I don't think West Boca has enough.
I know. I don't either.
Buchholz has played a hell of a schedule, and Buchholz in there, by the way, in their 5th consecutive state semifinal, by the way.
I mean, if I'm splitting hairs and guessing here, it can be Buchholz, West Boca, and then Armwood 3.
I could see that. Yeah, could West Boca have enough to jump Armwood? I think West Boca may have enough to jump Armwood, but no, I don't think Buchholz. But we'll see. Again, anything can happen here. All right, last but not least, let's talk about Class 7A here, everybody. Class 7A here as we roll along with this one here. Class 7A, Region 1. Oh, boy, talk about a dandy of a classic. Lake Mary 40, DeLand 31.
Mm-hmm.
Game ends on a pick 6. Lake Mary wins it. Man, the run for DeLand comes to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
Man. Region 2, Venice 41, Sumner 22. Venice rolls, wins that one. On to the state semifinals once more. Region 3, Vero Beach is partying like it's 1998. Yes, Vero Beach in the state semifinals for the first time since 1998. The fact that it's been over 20 years, almost 30 years since getting close, pretty close to 27 years since Vero Beach has been in the state semifinals. But since DeLand, this is what's interesting, Chris. DeLand going down, DeLand losing to Lake Mary.
Mm-hmm.
The path opens up more for Vero Beach to win their first state title since 81.
Nope.
The path opens.
I mean, but you still can't count make Lake Mary out, especially after last year.
No, and not now, but and then you got Miami Palmetto who wins at 65-41 over Goldman. Talk about a barn burner there. Woo! Defense didn't show up at all. Defense didn't even get off the bus for both teams at the stadium.
Yeah. I think they stayed home.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. Because of DeLand losing, my confidence high is Vero Beach will be your 1 seed.
Yeah.
Who's going to be your 2 seed? Because Lake Mary beat DeLand, I feel like Lake Mary has the best chance of slotting in. At number 2.
Yeah.
Venice 3. If that happens, you get Venice at Lake Mary rematch of the state championship game from last year in the state semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
It means one of those 2 teams is not getting to the state title game this year. Which leaves the door for Miami Palmetto probably to be at Vero Beach. And one of those 2 teams either for Miami Palmetto to finally reach the state championship game for the first time in program history, or for Vero Beach to get to the state title game for the first time since the 80s. 1981, I want to say.
Mm.
Man.
I mean, none of these 4 teams being here is a real surprise. I mean, this is what we kind of expected, except for maybe DeLand and Lake Mary.
Yeah.
But
because I tell you right now,
we expected Lake Mary to be here, but
DeLand was in the way. DeLand was in the way, and we thought DeLand had a chance. And no.
Yeah, these 5 teams, the 5 teams, including DeLand, we expected to be there. But yeah.
With that said, let's look at our state semifinalists for 7A, Lake Mary Region 1, Venice Region 2, Vero Beach Region 3, and Miami Palmetto Region 4. There you go, your state semifinalist. Congratulations to these teams. We know 27 of 28 teams that will be playing next Friday night. The question is, who is going to join them after tonight? Will it be Miami Central or will it be more Miami Northwestern? That's the big question mark here, Chris.
Yeah.
Wow. Boy. Glad everybody has been able to tune in and join us here and watch this here. Definitely appreciate that and everything here as we roll through this here and all that. So, but yes, we got a lot of great matchups here. Any final thoughts here, Chris?
I'm still recovering from my cold, as you can tell through my voice. Yeah, it's going to be interesting tonight to see what happens to Miami Northwestern and Central. I'm still confident. I'm fairly confident that Central will come out on top of this game, but all bets are off for this thing. A lot of great matchups in the Final Four.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that coming up on Wednesday night as we get ready for obviously the FIT games, the state championship game in rural, and then and then we'll talk about the state semifinals, the games, and make our predictions next week. Who get? I'm hoping at the end of the night. I'm sorry, Mark, but I hope at the end of the night it's this.
Oh, Lordy.
But
there's already talk of who's going to be the next Florida head coach, you know. And I'll say this.
I mean, as was going yesterday.
Despite the media reports, I still wouldn't count some guy at Ole Miss out for Florida yet.
We'll see.
Because nobody's really said anything.
Gosh, it's really, really interesting. Let's see what happens here. Maybe this whole thing with yesterday with the reports is all smoke and mirrors. Who knows?
Because nobody's really said anything. I wouldn't be surprised if Lane Kiffin stays in Ole Miss.
Yeah. Mark Cannon says Florida toast. No, I'm sorry, Florida State's toast. Just kidding. Just kidding.
The only reason Florida State won't change their head coach is because they can't afford it. So.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, if you haven't checked out the reclassification stuff that I did, the projections, there's that QR code. You scan it, or you go to FloridaHSFootball.com. It's on the front page there. You can hit that, take a look at it, digest it, chew it up, spit it out, whatever you would like. We'll be back Wednesday night to do the preview of round 4. The end of the season is getting much closer. Before we know it, we will no longer have high school football left to watch. Just college, the bowl games, and NFL.
Simple, yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, everybody, appreciate everybody watching here on this Saturday morning. We thank you. And for Christopher Lyke, I'm Joshua Wilson. We'll see y'all Wednesday night for another edition of the Drive the State show here on FloydHSFootball.com. Appreciate everybody watching. Have a great weekend.